Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, double understood apostles, the great millstone, and taught me his truth, taught us his truth. The blessings are you sincere labors out there that twist his truth and all sincerity and faith and honesty. Alright, my fellow servant Kanaka, I got the brother
AHBAD,
got the brother Corn, brother Mike Allen. Alright, we're from a GMS St. Petersburg, Florida branch. Okay, and as you can see, the topic of the video, this lessons, I will start with the spirit of the Medes. All right, and the Medes today will be the Russians. All right, without further ado, I'm gonna get right into this article here. It says, best New Year's gift to Russia. Putin boasts successful test of a avant-garde hypersonic glider. Okay, this is what Putin is starting a New Year's off with. All right, so it says the Russian Defense Ministry has conducted the final successful test of the avant-garde hypersonic glider before its entry into service. All right, it says Russian President Vladimir Putin announced the weapon will be deployed in 2019, he added. Okay, it says the hypersonic glider is a special type of warhead which can fly through the atmosphere at a high speed. This extends the range of a missile, potentially increases accuracy, and makes defending against it harder. So this new hypersonic glider, this type of warhead, all right, the distance that it can go has been improved. Okay, so reading on, it says it makes defending against it harder through unexpected maneuvers. So it can maneuver pretty well. Okay, I think it said maneuvers are like over 20 Mach. Okay, reading on, it says it makes defending against it harder through unexpected maneuvers, but prolonged controlled flight requires special protection of the glider from heat and shock produced at hypersonic speeds. Okay, so those maneuvers, right? It says it requires protection from the glider. It says China, the U.S., and Russia are considered the most advanced nations in the relevant technologies. Okay, so those are really the big players here when it comes to these missiles, right? And these missiles, China, U.S. and Russia are considered the most advanced nations in relevant technologies, and Moscow claims it is winning the race with the avant-garde project. So this is pretty much the that new line of weapons of missiles right now, and Russia claims to be winning the arms race with this project because of the capabilities of this missile. And not only is it it's able to overpass these missile defense systems, but also its accuracy has been increased. All right, its maneuverability has been increased. It can fly at much higher altitudes. Okay, it can fly real low at higher speeds. All right, so this is just the best missile technology out right now. Okay, it says the test was finished just now and a complete success. Putin told the cabinet on Wednesday all its specifications were confirmed. Okay, so like I was telling the brother. All right, so it was successful. All right, the missiles was successful. So now they got the blueprints. All they gotta do now is copy that, put it into production. Okay, and that's what's gonna be the scary part for the Americans. All right, because the blueprints already been set up. Now it's just running through production, and they just gonna come out with a bunch of these, man. All right, ultimately to destroy America. Okay, it says the president said the first regiment armed the missile-carrying avant-garde gliders will be deployed in Russia next year. It's a big event for the armed forces and probably for the entire country. Russia has a new kind of strategic weapons. In a separate statement, the Kremlin said that the avant-garde glider tested on Wednesday was fired from Dombrovsky site in southern Russia. So it was Dombrovsky, that's a city in Russia. All right, it says it targeted the test range in Kura in a Kamchatka Peninsula. The glider performed vertically and horizontal maneuvers in flight and accurately hit its intended target at the range, the statement said. So it was a success. It accurately hit its targets. Okay, talking about this avant-garde missile, it says the avant-garde is one of the 5 advanced weapon systems which Putin presented in March this year as Russia's response to the development by the U.S. of anti-ballistic missile systems. Because if you've been keeping up the prophecies, America has been putting missile defense systems all throughout Europe. So Russia created this avant-garde missile, all right, this very advanced weapon system to in response to the U.S. anti-ballistic missile systems. So really what it is, it's an arms race, okay? America has put these systems to counter Russia, all right? Because it really, they base it off first attack. All right, they feel as if whoever has the first attack, those have the higher percentage of survival. Okay, so it's like, you know, everybody anxious to press that button, but you know the consequence behind it is going to be mass casualties on both sides. But if one of them can get off before the other, they have a higher chance of survival than the opposing side. You know, so that's why America is setting up anti-ballistic missile systems all throughout Europe. So if Russia, if it can hit the missile before it actually projects out, the beginning stages are the vulnerable stages. Okay, but once that missile gets flying and start reaching speeds up to 20 Mach, you know, that's it. So that's why Russia has developed this missile. Okay, it says Washington insists that its global ABM shield is meant to protect it and its allies from states like Iran and North Korea. So Washington is saying, only reason why we're putting up these missiles, ballistic missile systems around Russia, is to protect us from Iran and North Korea. That's what they say. You know, but the Russians aren't stupid. The Russians know very well where this is going to. You know, look at history. Okay, the Soviet Union. All right, USSR. All right, the Cold War. That was, you know, prior to this time, that was the hottest time that ever missiles were launched, man. And now this time is even much greater than that time. Okay, so the Russians aren't stupid. That's why they had to respond to the ballistic missiles. Now, okay, they're saying you want to put missile systems around us, all right, and attack us. We're just going to build more advanced missile capabilities. That's, you know, that's really the response. So it's really an arms race.
If I may add, you even had Russia earlier this week, if I'm not mistaken, they dropped a nuclear bomber over there in, I think it was Brazil. You know, they actually had a video on RT about it. So Russia basically has a a Russian nuclear bomber that's stationed over there in Brazil. You can see the pilot shaking the Brazilian, I want to say it's Brazil, but I know it's somewhere inside Venezuela. Where it was?
Yeah, Venezuela.
The water. It was in Venezuela, and you had the Venezuelan Air Force and the military shaking hands with the Russian military, and then you had the Secretary of Defense. He basically had a problem with it, you know, basically saying that, you know, that's a threat. Like, what kind of maneuver is that? That's very aggressive. But like the brother was just saying, all right, U.S., you want to put all these defense systems around us, but guess what we're doing? We're finna drop a nuclear bomber over here in Venezuela. And you had earlier this year when you had maybe about, I know on at least 2, but maybe 3 occasions when you had a Russian nuclear bomber that was over the north of Alaska. You had U.S. jets that had to escort it. So I mean, the tension's been rising for the longest, but this goes to show you why it's all a counter. In other words, like you were saying earlier, it's a chess move. It's all chess moves, man. You want to try and, I mean, you're gonna set up pawns, okay, so that you can try and get over them, so you can get the rook, so you can get the queen, so to say. But the pawns with what's your boy name? DJ Trump, with him pulling, quote unquote, pulling the troops out of Syria. And now you have all these military, the ex-military officials saying that was a bad move. ISIS is gonna take over. Listen, we already know that you're already backing ISIS. We already know that that's a CIA operative plan that's going on. And what it is that you're not really talking about what's going on in Afghanistan. You're not really talking about how George Soros and these other bankers are really aiding that caravan that's coming into America from the Central Americas. You have your hand, there's so much going on that you try and put the picture out there on the news to say that this is what's really going on, but everything behind closed doors and what you really don't want the people to see, you know?
Kind of. So, like the brother said, man.
Shalom to you,
Washington insists that its global ABM shield is meant to protect it and its allies from states like Iran and North Korea. And also, later on this year, the NATO and the EU, they were doing military drills. Remember, Russia flew a plane in the middle of their military drills, man. You remember that? You know? Mm-hmm. It says Moscow believes it to be deception, which is true. So here it is, America's setting up all these ballistic missile systems in certain strategic spots in Europe to block all the missiles from coming out of Russia. But America claims that it's to protect them from rogue states like Iran and North Korea. But this is what Moscow, the Medes, all right? This is what Moscow said, the Russians. Moscow believes it to be deception and sees the American effort as an attempt to undermine Russia's nuclear deterrence, all right? So to undermine Russia, all right? Because they know Russia has these these missile capabilities. So what they sit and put missile defense, ballistic missile systems all around Russia. If Russia was able to shoot a missile out, so they have the upper hand on Russia, so to say. So with that, we're gonna get right into the scriptures. Go ahead.
Isaiah 13 verse 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see.
So this is a burden unto you, man. All right, the burden of Babylon. So this is a vision that Isaiah saw according to this modern day Babylon, which would be America. All right, two women can get married, two men can get married. All right, you walking down the street, you don't know if that's a woman or a man. Okay, so this is confusion, straight confusion here. All right, will women rule over men? All right, so this is a burden unto Babylon. So we're gonna hear what the burden, what the Lord has to tell you Americans today. Go ahead.
Verse 2. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain.
So lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, and that banner is something that you put up, and you pretty much, let's say you got an event. All right, that banner is pretty much to tell you, all right, what this event is about. All right, so this is the banner of the scripture. So the burden unto Babylon. Go ahead.
Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand.
So exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand. You know, and that's what we let you know. The Lord is stirring up the spirit of the Medes, man. All right, Russia just came through with this New Year's gift. All right, Putin boasts successful test of an avant-garde hypersonic glider. Okay, which is capable of which speed is reach 20 Mach. All right, so it's capable of speed to maneuver its way out of any missile ballistic system out there. All right, so this is a burden unto America, because what? Russia is going to destroy America, man. So this is a burden unto you. Go ahead.
That they may go into the gates of the nobles.
We are in the gates of the nobles. Go ahead.
I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger. Even them that rejoice in my highness.
Even them that rejoice in our highness. That's us, man.
I got something I want to say real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
It's the back here, because you said that's in Mach 20 speed?
Yeah,
It's over Mach 20? Yeah. Okay, listen to this. The speed of sound under standard conditions is 1,126 feet per second, or 768 miles per hour. Mach 3 is 3 times the speed of sound. Okay, listen to that. Or about 2,300 miles per hour. When I think about this, did not the angel tell Ezra, can you show me the image of a sound? You can't show an image of the sound. So the missiles are actually, let's say 6 times 3, 6 times faster than the speed of sound, and you can't even see sound.
Damn.
You know. And United States, their missile defense systems are trash, because they invest more in their Navy and in their military, you know, like the foot soldiers and their technology and everything. But their missile defense is trash because their pride has deceived them. They've been infiltrating, they've been enlarging hell, not keeping their home for so long. They always say to themselves, you will never come and infiltrate, or another word, deflower the daughter of Babylon, known as America. You'll never do that. That's what they think in their mind, but the Lord got something for them. You know?
I got a quick precept, real quick. You guys don't know?
No, go ahead. All
right, this is Joel chapter 2, verse 6. Before their face, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall be gathered blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one on his ways.
Can I say something? They shall climb the wall like the mighty men of war. It's not America.
They shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path.
So with that being said, they shall not break their ranks. That means that every missile that's going to be let off is going to hit its designated target.
Right.
Because when you think about not breaking your ranks, the best way I can put it to you in layman terms is the movie 300. Where every man had their shield reinforced next to the next brother's shield so they couldn't be penetrated. But nonetheless, though, none of their ranks was broken, meaning that they was set and bound and steadfast in what they had to do. The same thing with those missiles in that day, man. Those missiles and those angels, they're not going to break their rank. They're going to hold their position, and then they're going to take charge, and they're going to fulfill their position the best way they can, because the Most High have angels, man, that are set for vengeance in that day, man, and they're going to do it speedily and to the liking of the Heavenly Father.
That's right. It said to both slow.
No, I'm saying this right here to back your brothers up. It says the glider performed vertical and horizontal maneuvers in flight and accurately hit its intended target at a range, the statement said. So they shall not break their ranks. So Russia has those capabilities right there, fulfilling prophecy. You know, they hit, no matter how far it was, when they tested them, they actually hit their targets. All right?
That's a sad sound to hear, boy.
Accurately hit its intended target at a range. All right?
Hey, like the brother said in Book of Wisdom, in the Book of Sirach, it says, and they appease the wrath of him that made them, man. All right, so these missiles are going to do a hell of a job at appeasing the wrath of him that made them. I got a quick precept real quick. This is Revelations chapter 17, verse 17. For the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to...
So they go back to him hardening Pharaoh's heart.
That's right. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. And the kings of the earth, man. And to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. But the point I went off there through the Spirit was to fulfill the will of YAHAWASHI. Going back to why these missiles will not break their ranks, man, because the Spirit of YAHAWASHI is going to be on these missiles to hit their designated or i.e. accurate targets, man. All right.
Hey, and that word, the missile system, right? Look, I looked this up.
Shalom.
Okay. Shalom. It says the best New Year's gift. All right, so the Avangard hypersonic glider. So look what that word Avangard means, man. It says the Avangard, okay, or Avangard is a strong force, 1, 2, or 3 army corps pushed out a day's march to the front immediately behind the cavalry screen. Its mission is to vigorously to engage the enemy wherever he is found. So that's that missile's what it was designed to do. All right, because they named after Avangard. So going on a little history, it says its mission is to vigorously to engage the enemy wherever he is found. So that's what that missile is going to do. Viciously engage his enemy wherever it is. Okay, it said, and by binding him to ensure liberty of action in the time and space for the main army. Okay, so that's what that Avangard. Okay, that's an omen. Okay, going back to name prediction. All right, you can go on.
Isaiah 13, verse 4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people. A tumultuous noise.
And that's going to be the noise of the missiles, man. All right? A tumultuous noise where it said 200 million missiles, man. All right? Go ahead.
It says, of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord, YAHAWASHI of hosts, mustereth the host of the battle.
So the Lord is mustered the host of the battle, man. So the Lord's preparing this. The reason why Russia, matter of fact, what is Isaiah 54:16? All right, the reason why Russia came out of Putin boasts successful tests of an Avangard hypersonic glider, and once again, that word Avangard, it means to, it says its mission is to vigorously to engage the enemy wherever he is found by binding him to ensure liberty. All right, so wherever the enemy is, it's supposed to vigorously to engage. So that's what that missile is going to do. Okay, so the Lord put that on the spirit of the Russians, man. Go ahead.
Isaiah 54, verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire.
So he created that smith. That modern day smith would be those Russian and German scientists over there creating those missiles, man. All right, go ahead.
And that bringeth forth an instrument.
And which is this? I'm gonna just put this on there so you can see what instrument we talking about here. All right.
That's right.
That's the instrument it's talking about. Go ahead.
That's right. And that bringeth forth an instrument for his work.
For his work. The Most High's work. Right? Hold that. Well, get Amos 9:8. Okay? Because the instrument for his work is to destroy America, man. Alright, that's why the Lord is raising up the spirit of the Medes. That's why the Lord is putting Putin in such in that warlike state of mind, man. That's why he's putting the spirit on him to create such missiles that have such outstanding capabilities that it said it's 10 decades ahead of anybody, man. Okay? Go ahead.
Amos 9:8?
Yeah.
Alright, Amos.
Yeah.
Alright. Amos chapter 9, verse 8. Behold, 8. Slocky. Take that lid off that.
Go ahead. Spirit.
Amos 9, verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, are upon the sinful kingdom.
So initially that's talking about Israel. But right now, it's talking about Esau, Edom. The eyes of the Lord God are upon a sinful kingdom. Go ahead.
And I will destroy it from off the face of the earth.
So that's the instrument for his work. The work is to destroy America off the face of the earth. Go ahead.
Saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord.
So the Lord is not going to utterly destroy the house of Jacob. So that's why it's going to be deliverance. All right. The elect of Israel is going to be saved out of these nuclear missiles, man. All right. So go back to yeah. That's it. Go back to Isaiah.
All right. Isaiah 54 verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work.
So that avant-garde hypersonic glider. Go ahead.
And I have created a waster to destroy.
So the Lord has put the spirit on Putin, man, to push certain things, man. To be so far ahead of America in this arms race. Okay. Once again, it said these missile capabilities are like 10 decades ahead of America, man. Okay. Go back to
Isaiah
13.
Right, Isaiah 13 verse 4. Verse 5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven.
So they come from a far country, from the end of heaven. It says with these missile capabilities, it's able to project much farther. Okay. It says the Russian Defense Ministry has conducted a final successful test of avant-garde hypersonic glider before its entry into service. All right, the hypersonic glider is a special type of warhead which can fly through the atmosphere at a high speed. All right, and it says they come from a far country, right? Yeah. It says this extends the range of a missile, potentially increases the accuracy, and makes defending it against it harder. So this increases the range. So when the scriptures say they come from a far country, Russia's fulfilling these prophecies, man. Russia's fulfilling that, man. Those missiles are going to come from one end of the earth to another, man. It don't matter how far it is, yo, they're going to be able to reach their mark, man.
I got appreciate I got some information for you.
Go ahead.
Now, the brothers was talking about how fast this missile is, all right? And it says that, bear with me. When first presenting the avant-garde in March, the Russian leaders said the new system has an intercontinental range and can fly in the atmosphere at 20 times the speed of sound, bypassing the enemy's missile defense. He emphasized that no other country currently has hypersonic weapons. So no other country has a hypersonic weapon. Now listen to this. Now listen to that. Listen to that. Listen to this though. All right. Earlier this year, U.S. missile defense tests failed in Hawaii. This was in January 31st. Now listen to this. The U.S. successfully did a test this month. All right, it was on December 12th. I'm sorry, December the 11th, not the 12th. But basically, what it said was the SM-3 block IIA missile is being developed to eventually intercept intercontinental range missiles. So they're in the development process of trying to intercept an intercontinental ballistic missile because the successful rate that they got from this test was from an intermediate. So they can't even. So they haven't even got to the point of actually having a successful defense system for an intercontinental ballistic missile. But even Russia said no other country has a hypersonic missile. So how the hell you are going to be trying to stop a hypersonic missile when you only have the technology to test one because you don't even have one? So you're just playing yourself. You don't even have a hypersonic missile to test on. So when it's let off, what you gonna do? It can't even be detected. It's gonna be too late, man.
Can't hear it. Because you remember during that reason, like I was telling the brother Mike Oliver, the reason why it's like that, because you remember during that first arms race, what America had that petrodollar. So they was able to print money, outprint money. They was able to pretty much win the arms race against Russia because they had the power of that petrodollar.
They had the whole world in their hands.
Exactly. So what Russia did, they took their investments, their money, and put it into missiles.
Because what they did, they enforced the world to use the petrodollar after they dropped the bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Because Henry Kissinger, I believe Secretary of Defense at the time, he basically went to Saudi Arabia and said, okay, if you want to sell your oil, you got to use our dollars. And then that's when they crushed the gold standard. When they got enough gold, because basically what they did, they basically put gold up so they can get money from the USA. And USA, and then USA said, you know what, we done with the gold standard, and kept their gold. And then they had all them dollar bills that they had to try and get away to get their money back. They basically pimped them, like you said, man. And Russia was the one Russia was the one who put more money into the missiles all right, to the missile defense system, because you had the Cuban crisis, and you also had it back in the Cold War when they thought America was going to hit them with missiles. So that's why really Russia, that's when really NATO and the EU came about, because they said, listen, all you neighboring countries around Russia, all right, come and join us, and then, like, let's say Russia or China or another entity that's not a part of us try and harm you, all nations must come and aid you. That's where NATO came from. You know, then they go back to the 10 horns and the 7 heads in Revelation.
So, you know what I'm saying? I just want to say this real quick, and that makes sense. Like, the reason why Russia's so far advanced, because like if I'm working on a certain skill and that's all I'm working on, I'm gonna be far more advanced in you in that skill, because that's what my focus is on. So Russia's focus was always on the missiles, man. All right, that's why they 10 decades ahead of the U.S. That's why they have hypersonic missiles, man. All right, the propelling, you know, when anything with a rocket to propel something, Russia is so far advanced because that's what they focused on. Because remember, who let off the first satellite? Russia, Sputnik.
It was Sputnik. Yep.
Okay, they let off the first satellite. So Russia is far more advanced when it comes to these rocket systems to something or to propel something from one destination to another, man.
Right.
All right. That's why they had hypersonic technology.
Because they already know how to get the longitude and latitude and coordinates. So now we're gonna focus more on the speed and then it not being detected, because we already had that technology. We advanced in that.
And that's so beautiful. They go right back to what the brother said earlier. Since you want to set up these missile defense systems in our front yard, in our backyard, but guess what? We just gonna keep producing more and that. Why? Because the blueprint for it is already successful, man. The missile being tested. Yeah, the missile that's been tested is already accomplished, man. And like the brother said earlier, you gotta understand something. Proverbs 21 says the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. And this is why he is the king of nations, the Lord of lords, man. All right? And so I got a quick precept real quick. Because it said in Isaiah 13, the Lord mustereth the host, right? All right? And he's the Lord of hosts, right? So this is Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 6. For as much as there is none like unto thee, O YAHAWASHI, thou art great, and thy name is great in might. Who would not fear thee, O King of nations? For to thee doeth appertain, for as much as among all the wise men of the nations and in their kingdoms, there is none like unto thee. All right, and then a brother just asked to bring out Isaiah 54:16. The Most High created the scientists, man. All right, and the Most High created the weapon. That's why the scriptures tell you the deceiver and the deceiver are his, man. All right, because see, they don't have that proud ass spirit on them, man. The Most High put the spirit on them to be on this technology. You see?
And if I can say this real quick, America got comfortable, okay? You know, as that superpower. You know, they kind of kick their feet back. Right, here it is, you know, because when you at the top, you know, nobody really challenge you. So, you know, you get comfortable. So what the underdog, he gonna work hard so he can try to
surpass
you out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he calling you out like Deontay Wilder kept calling out your boy Joshua.
And that's what happened. You know, they surpassed him. You know?
He trying to get that #1 headband.
You trying to get that #1 headband up? All right, I respect that. You cussing on that. You want to get that? Hey, guess who got the #1 headband?
YAHAWASHI.
And who made the #1 headband?
Yahweh.
Okay,
that's right.
Now I got a precept real quick, because I remember you opened up with a precept basically talking about the Lord mustard the battle, and you were talking about the Pharaoh. You brought a precept about the Pharaoh, and then it reminded me of Egypt, how the Lord, how he hardened the heart of Pharaoh in ancient Egypt. And we know America to be spiritually Egypt, so he hardened the heart of your boy DJ Trump. So check this out. This is Psalms chapter 47. Well, Psalm 47, I don't say chapter. Psalm 47 and 7. For God is the king of all the earth. Sing ye praises with understanding. God reigneth over the heathen. Yahweh sitteth upon the throne of his holiness. So he reigned amongst these heathens out here, man. He controls them. That goes back to that Daniel 4:17, if I'm not mistaken. You know, he ruleth in the kingdom of men.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, so it's all his show. We just pieces of it.
Yeah, that's right. And Lord's will, we're the ultimate pieces, man, to the house of David. All right, to the pieces of that main puzzle of the kingdom of heaven being put together, man. You know, from YAHAWASHI on down. All right, that's all I want to say through this.
I'm gonna read a little bit more on this. It says the glider allows attacking targets that would normally be protected from a traditional ballistic missile warhead. It can take a course around land sites and warships with anti-ballistic missile capabilities or rely on its speed and maneuverability to avoid interception. All right, so these missiles can outrun any missile defense system, because a missile defense system is pretty much a missile with like a heat sensor on it that just chases the other missile until it hits it. But it said these missiles that Russia has, it says it can take a course around land sites. So it's pretty much, it's smart. It's a smart missile. It'll be going, it'll sense land sites, and it'll take another course. Okay, so it's like it's far more advanced in America. Okay, it says it can take a course around land sites and warships with anti-ballistic missile capabilities. Okay, it says, or if it don't do that, it say it'll just rely on speed and maneuverability to avoid interception. Okay, so it don't, like, let's say it can't avoid the missile defense system. It just uses speed and maneuverability to just outrun the missile, man. So it's no stopping it. All right.
And this is another thing to think about it. You always got to think about a balance. It's something called a counter, you know, like -2 plus a -1. I'm saying like a -2 plus +2 will always come out to 0. So if you're trying to track down a hypersonic missile and you don't have no missiles that are hypersonic, even your defense missiles, you're not going to catch it. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like you trying to top a cheetah out with land speed with a goddamn gazelle. A gazelle pretty fast, but a cheetah can maneuver and counter the way a gazelle move, man. And on top of that, there's no animal on land, on Earth, that can outrun the cheetah. So what missile defense system do you have that can outdo the speed of sound 20 times the sound? It don't make any sense. It's like you can't counter that. It's kind of like Floyd Mayweather trying to counter Mike Tyson. I mean, you in the same sport, but you out of range, you out of class, man. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Go ahead.
Yep, verse 5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord YAHAWASHI, and the weapons of his indignation.
And the weapons of indignation. Hey, one of them, all right, is these missile defense systems. All right, this AHBAD missile, it says the AHBAD is one of the 5 advanced weapon systems. All right, one of the most advanced weapon systems there is out there. Go ahead.
To destroy the whole land.
So to destroy the whole land, right? So that's what the Lord is going to do to America. He's going to destroy the whole land. Why do you think Putin just keep advancing Satan? We thought Satan too was something.
Oh yeah, we thought that
was. To destroy a continent the size of Texas, man. All right. And Russia just keep advancing. You be like, damn, that's all they needed was a Satan 2. But then he come out with an AHBAD missile.
It's a spirit.
You know what I mean? The Lord is raising up the spirit of the needs, man. That's it, bro. That's it, man.
He really showing you his anger about what Russia making. Like, this is not anger right here. This is that plague that's gonna hit the earth.
That hot wind.
That hot
destroying wind.
You know? That hot wind.
That's right.
That hot.
As soon as you open up that oven, you feel that breeze come through.
See, you can fall back from the oven, but when that hot wind comes, that hot wind can chase your ass.
Consuming you.
Yes.
On your feet.
Hey, the scriptures say that they shall be as an oven, man.
Yeah, that's right.
They shall be as an oven.
Burn
all the proud.
Yep. All they do wicked. Yep. Shall be as stubble.
You know how that oven feel, man, when you pulling out that chicken at the bottom and stuff, man.
You know how I feel when your skin touch that hot rat.
You know.
They put you right back. They put you be like, yeah, man, it's the water, y'all. Man, I be in there cooking that chicken, boy. I be like, damn, what? Endure all things for these days, say, Ronnie.
Going off a little bit, man.
A little bit.
This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 7, verse 6. How ye, for the day of the Lord YAHAWASHI is at hand.
So how? The day of the Lord is at hand. All right, going back to Amos. Woe to you that desire the day of the Lord. So how? You know, because that's what's coming. Missile. You know, you're going to eat a missile. It's missile food. And the reason why these missiles going to come too and really destroy America is that almost everybody here going to get that damn chip except the elect, man. You know? And the judgment for the chick is the fire and brimstone. To be tormented in the presence of the holy angels with the fire and brimstone, which be the nuclear missiles, man.
Yeah, hey, if I may add to that, go to show you the confirmation of YAHAWASHI, how determined he is. Because simultaneously, as you have all this going on over here in the far west, you're going to have these thermonuclear missiles being shot off, man. All right, so it's just a perfect balance of YAHAWASHI. The Lord said He's determined. All right, He shall work and who shall let it in the book of Isaiah, the 43rd chapter, man. So the Lord is at work, man. You know. So it's just a beautiful thing to be witnessing the technology of these missiles coming out. It's just like the Most High, like the brother said, Satan too. Now you got a fucking hypersonic missile that can go over 20 Machs, man. All right, so it's just the beauty of the Lord, the establishment of his plan to destroy the land, man.
No, that's beautiful that you said, because when you think about the word hyper, you gotta understand hyper. It goes beyond the average. It goes beyond certain means. Matter of fact, let me look it up real quick.
Like you got hyper cars, you know.
It's not the average.
Those like the fastest cars out there, you know.
God, I went into the word. I'm going to the word hyper real quick. Forming element meaning over, above, beyond, exceedingly, to excess, over much, above measure.
Overkill.
Overkill. Overkill, bro. I'm telling you, I'm talking about like that finishing. And Mortal Kombat, bro.
In 1 hour.
Overkill.
You know?
Because, hey, I mean, an intercontinental ballistic missile could get from Russia to New York in 30 minutes. That's why it says in 1 hour.
Mach 20, bro.
Mach 20 in like 5 minutes.
You know, bro. You might want to repent, brother.
For real. Hey, Mach 20, bro. Over Mach 20.
Going faster than the speed of sound.
That's insane.
You cannot hear it.
Have you ever heard those? Have you ever seen the people at those them army and Air Force shows when them jets be going by and then they hear it?
Yeah.
After imagine 20. Yeah. You gonna hear it way after you see it. You ain't gonna even see what the fuck was that.
You're just gonna feel that wind.
You gonna feel that.
That's it.
I'll be right
back. That's all you gonna feel is that wind, boy. Cause you're not that hot wind. That's it, bro. Go ahead.
Yep.
That's all you gonna feel, bro. You ain't gonna see it coming or nothing. Just all you gonna get, and that hot wind just gonna come sweeping. You know?
Yep. That's that aftermath.
Exactly.
That's that overkilling.
And then if you too far from the site, you just gonna be melting like candles. You know, like wax, man. You know?
I just looked down there. This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 7. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 6. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, is at hand.
So howl, man. Go ahead.
It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty.
So this is not just your average destruction, man. This is destruction coming from the Almighty, man. The Most High. Right? The Most High God, man. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 8, verse 7. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt.
Why all fans gonna be faint and every man's heart shall melt? Because what? Nobody has nothing to protect themselves against a missile, man. All right.
That's why all the proud,
you know,
they do wickedly shall be stubborn.
That's right.
Like you said, brother, what do you have that can hide you from that?
Nothing, man.
Nothing, bro. So all your pride is going to be nothing in that day.
That's right. That's right. Verse 8. And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them.
And they're going to be afraid. Pains and sorrows shall take hold of them. You know, I don't know if that happened this year, 2018, or was it 2017, but a brother in GMS Hawaii, when they did that false, I think that was this year.
This year.
Yeah, you know, they did that false flag over there talking about a missile was going to hit Hawaii soon. Everybody was scared, man. But you know, prior to that, nobody was thinking about the missiles. Yeah, y'all crazy, ain't no missiles. Yeah, that won't happen. You know, that'll never happen. Then as soon as the false flag come, you go and hop on the brother's live feed, and this brother got thousands of viewers.
But look right now, I mean, you still got, you know, sincere people who believe in YAHAWASHI now shouting this live feed. He ain't getting thousands again. But everybody going right back to the wickedness, man. It goes right back to the time, like you said, when they had that false flag, so to say, that false alarm. You had Edomites digging up manholes, putting their children in the sewers. So I mean, that pride came to naught. It was nothing there, you know. Look it up.
Verse 8. And they shall be afraid. Pains and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth.
So you're gonna be in pain as a woman that travaileth. And you know, people think, oh, this is too far-fetched. No, this is not, man. You know, the missiles will never be shot. And why is Russia investing all this money in making hyper missiles?
Yeah.
You know, we thought that was it. You know, back they spoke this all the way back in 2012.
Like I say, too, was it?
You know, about how they will make a missile capable of
That's crazy.
you know, overwhelming any U.S. missile defense system. They've been spoke about this, and what? It's coming to pass. All right, go ahead.
They shall be amazed one at another.
Like, damn, is this really happening?
Yeah, 'cause it says
America's really gonna be destroyed. America finna you hear that alarm?
Yeah.
They gonna be amazed, like, oh my, are you serious? Bro, that's gonna be a bad day, because it's like it ain't nothing you can do no more now. You know? Seek the Lord while he may be found, man. It ain't gonna be nothing they can do about it. You know, so that's gonna be the bad part, man. You know?
Yeah. Come. And they shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of YAHAWASHI cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
So this how, you know, people say love the sinner, hate the sin. The Lord said he gonna destroy the sinners thereof out of the land, man. You know? Go ahead.
Verse 10. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light.
So this is gonna be a dark day, morally, you know. Even the stargazers, prognosticators, they ain't gonna have nothing. They ain't gonna have no answer for that in that day, man. Because they gonna know that the Most High was behind it. They gonna know, like, yo, man didn't do this. You know, they gonna know that. What? Because the Most High said he put in their hearts and fulfilled his will. You know, this is the will of the Most High. They don't really want to push them buttons, bro. They know they don't. But the Most High gonna put it in their spirit to press it, because they know when they press that button, it's gonna be mass casualties on both sides. They know that, man. You know. You say you have something?
Yeah. Come. Isaiah 47 verse 13. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators.
So all the stargazers, you know, your witches, you know, warlocks. Your warlocks, all that you go to for answers, man. When the missiles be shot, go ahead.
It says, stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee.
So let them save you from these missiles, man. You know, go ahead.
Verse 14. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame.
So you ain't gonna be able to deliver yourself from the power of the missiles, man. When that wind is coming straight at you, wiping and sweeping everything in its path.
Wiping and sweeping.
Wiping and sweeping.
So that wind gonna be a Swiffer. A Swiffer mouth right now. Damn. Wiping and cleansing. Wiping and sweeping. I like that.
Wiping and sweeping, man.
When that wiping and sweeping come about.
You know, sweeping everything.
You know you gotta sweep the floor first before you mop it.
Yeah.
That's heavy, because the scriptures say he shall sweep it with the besom of destruction,
man.
So that's beautiful.
That's how it's gonna come. Just
sweeping through.
A quick in.
Wax on, wax off.
Cleaning shit up. That's right.
You get it nuclear. Nuclear. To clear.
To
clear out, man.
That's right. That's right. Verse 14. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall
there's power behind that flame. You know, they ain't gonna be delivering themselves from the power of the flame. Go ahead.
It says there for themselves in the 16:11. It says their souls.
Kind.
So,
it's beautiful. Then.
Yeah, all that, you know, telling, you know, the witches and warlocks and stargazers, monthly prognosticators, all your
psychics,
all that stuff, all your worldly
shamans.
You're going to be the biggest mocking stock in that day from YAHAWASHI and YAHAWASHI, the holy angels and the elect, man. All right, because there is no enchantment against Jacob, man. All right.
I got a precept real quick. Ecclesiastes 8:6. Because to every purpose there is time and judgment. Therefore the misery of man is great upon him. For he knoweth not that which shall be. Those what you call them? Astrologers, stargazers. For who can tell him when it shall be? There is no man that hath power over the spirit to retain the spirit. Neither have he power in the day of wrath. I mean, it's like in the day of death. And there is no discharge in that war. Because a man shall seek death in that day. Neither shall wickedness deliver those that are giving to it. All right? So, hey, in that day, man, hey, when you fall to the hands of the Lord, you're not going to have an answer for it.
That's right.
You know?
Themselves, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm it, nor fire to sit before it.
So it's nothing gonna be able to stop it. It ain't gonna be no ointment for that wound.
You ain't gonna, listen, you ain't gonna see no fire trucks or nothing coming to save you, man.
It's a fire. It's a fire that's just gonna have to burn out, man. You know, once America gonna, what it said, they smoke. The smoke and their torment went up. It's just gonna burn. It's gonna burn itself out. You know, that's what you let That's what you let happen to wildfire.
You gotta let it burn out.
You know. Go ahead.
Verse 15. Thus shall they be unto thee, with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth.
So, hey, even to which those that have labored, all right. Them that was working with them.
Going back
all
to
right.
Revelations. That's right. The 18th chapter. That's right. They shall wander every one to his quarter. None shall save thee.
So everybody gonna be judged according to their works, man.
That's right.
You know?
Oh, I got a push up for that one real quick. Read that one more time, Baba Kushal.
I dropped the slot document. Thought that was it. Slot. This is Isaiah.
I got it. Keep your hand on the sword, mother. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 47.
It's all love. Gotta have fun with this thing. And we're gonna laugh at destruction. Go ahead.
That's right. Isaiah 47, verse 15. Thus shall they be unto thee, with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter. None shall save thee.
Right, like you said, because of that fire, because every person is going to be judged. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 13. Every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire. If the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. If any man's work abide, which he hath built thereunto, he shall receive a reward. If any man's work shall be burnt, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire. All right. So that's really talking about physical and spiritual. Because we going through the spiritual fire right now. But 2/3 they gotta get that physical fire. But in that day, all Israel shall be saved anyway. But the heathen, there's no salvation for them at all. You know.
Hey, and that's going to be through the purification of the elect, being those perfect gold bricks, man. You know, roughly to say. That's why we're going through that purification process. Because once you get the blueprint, which is the elect, the 1/3 coming, then 2/3 going to come through us. You know, that because the process is already fulfilled. You know, that's why we're going through the trial. All right. Isaiah 13, verse 10. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light.
It's going to be a dark day. Go ahead.
The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity.
So that's why the Most High is really, man, putting the spirit on the Russians, man.
That's right,
to make these missiles, putting the spirit on. What it says, U.S., China, and Russia, they are the main superpowers when it comes to the missiles, man. That's why they in an arms race, man, because the Lord is really going to destroy this place. All right, go ahead.
And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease.
Because what? Everybody proud. All right, nobody acknowledges the Most High, man. You know, who really out there? You know, everybody say they love the Most High, they do this, but like the Lord said, they honor me with their lips, but you know, their heart is far from me, man. You know, there's a lot of arrogancy going on. You know, we got people still walking by the camp saying God don't exist. You know, the arrogancy. You know, they don't have to answer nobody. They can do as thy will. You know, that's why, you know, the nations are mad. Okay, the Lord has to clean all of this up. And the only way to cleanse this thing is through fire. All right? Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a quick precept. Real quick. Now this is this is Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel chapter 33.
Shalom, YAHAWASHI, Bashim, Kakadash, Brakata, Akim in Chicago.
Come. This is Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 32. And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice, and can play well on instrument. For they hear thy words, but they do them not.
So they hear thy words and they do them not, man. Hey, going back to I believe it was Matthew's, I forget the exact chapter.
11th chapter.
The water. You know what I'm talking about. We have piped into you, but they have not.
So
not
we're the
mentioned,
ones. So we're the ones who lamented. We're the ones that's crying. But those who are not, those are the ones who don't like that song, so they don't know it. Come.
Read it again.
Come. Ezekiel 33, verse 32. And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song.
Unto us is a very lovely song. That's why we're able to go into these scriptures. We're able to read them. We're able to break them down because it's very lovely to us, man. All right, hearing this word, hearing about the kingdom. All right, this is the gospel. This is the good news. It's a very lovely song. Okay. On to 2/3, man. The scriptures say they trust in oppression, man. Right? They seek not to hear the word. They don't like righteous. They don't like righteousness, man. They want to continue in their ways. So this is unto us as a very lovely song. Go ahead.
And can play well on an instrument. For they hear thy words.
So they hear the words. They hear us out there. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, and you confusing faces, get right. All right, the kingdom of heaven is promised unto you. So much great things have been promised unto us, man. You know, I was talking to brother, yo, this kingdom is stupid, man. You know, we gotta pay bills. You gotta reinstate your license, your tag every year. You know, you being taxed all out the ass, man. You know, so we letting them know all that YAHAWASHI is gonna come back and wipe all that away, man. We actually gonna be able to live again, man. We actually gonna know what it feels like to live. That's a lovely song. You don't hear that? But the thing is, this generation, they don't have faith, man. They don't believe. That's really what it is. Like, Jake, you don't want that? What it is, they don't believe it, man. They don't believe it's gonna happen. They only trust in what they can see, which is Egypt, man. They trust in oppression. All right, what they told Moses when we left out, they said it would be better if we would have stayed in Egypt.
Yeah.
Because why? They had to go off of faith. You know, it wasn't no food. They walk in the desert. Wasn't no food, no water out there. They ain't have no faith in the Most High that the Most High was going to feed them. You know?
But what the scriptures say, thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power.
That's right.
So right now, while they got liberty and they're looking at the law, they don't want to come to it. Why? Because they don't want to suffer. That's what we had to do. For 40 years, we had to suffer. But at the same time, though, none of our garments, none of our raiment waxed old. We were never hungry. We had a pillar of fire at night, a cloud by day. The Lord was there with us. We saw his miracles when we came out of Egypt, man. And guess what? Through the Spirit, we know that when we leave Egypt again, the Lord's still complete with us again in the wilderness.
That's right.
I mean, and you know, that's what's wrong with our people, though, man. Because, like you said, they can't see these things. Because you know why? This is the same generation. Like you said, this is a beautiful song. When YAHAWASHI said he was piping unto them, he was piping unto those who he said, I pray for them, I pray not for the world. So those who didn't want to hear that song were the same ones who said, let his blood be upon us and our children. So the same ones who are the 2/3 who are going to die on this side are the same ones who didn't want to hear that song. That's why they buck up against us right now. Because we're doing this, we preaching the same doctrine YAHAWASHI preached. That's why he said in John the 7th chapter, the 7th verse, he said the world cannot hate you. Because they hated me before I hated you. So we basically doing the same thing YAHAWASHI did because we have a double portion of YAHAWASHI. It's no different than what Elisha was doing when Elijah was taken up in the chariot, man. He continued to work. That's all we doing, man. And they hate this song because this song go back to the same doctrine YAHAWASHI preaching in John the 7th chapter, man. That's it, bro.
Really, they hate correction, man. Yeah. You know, that's why they choose not to hear it, is because this song is contrary to their lifestyle. Right. All right. Yeah, it's contrary to they have to change and realize I can't do what I want to do. Like, yeah, you have order, you have the Heavenly Father instructions that you have to abide by. But what? They are disobedient children, man. You know, choose not to hearken unto the Most High. Go ahead. Oh, you said you had something you want to say?
No, that was it. Oh, no, that's it. Yeah, okay. That's it. Yeah. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil,
Mm-hmm.
and the wicked for their iniquity.
Come.
And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease,
Come.
and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold,
Come.
even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
And that's talking about a man of the Lord.
That's right.
Okay? And like the brother AHBAD always say, man, women gonna come regardless, man. We just want the spirit to be guiding us in that day, man.
That's it.
You know, that's it, man. Because that's just gonna come. That's just gonna be extra with it.
They headaches now, and then they gonna be headaches in the day as well, man. So just think about salvation.
Yeah.
You know, that to be guided by the spirit, man. That's really all we want. Because that to be guided by the spirit, that's gonna add onto you all the other things, man.
Right.
You know.
Hey,
They're gonna see you got the spirit on you.
Yeah, no, that's so beautiful because the scriptures tell you this, seek ye first. One of the brothers out there in Mysteries of the Kingdom, he says, seek ye first the kingdom, and all these things shall be added. Everything will come regardless, man. Don't try to have a successful life. If the Lord gave you something, it's a portion. All right, the Lord can give you that increase if you just seek the kingdom first, man. So if we still have that same spirit that the Lord put on us right now, and that day, Lord's will be those men. All right, then the Lord is going to guide us by that spirit. And it's something that the elder Tazaywan out there in PTA said. I was watching his videos earlier. He said, as the scriptures say, the servant is not greater than his master. So the same glory and the same, when Yahawashi had fame, man, but it wasn't a fame that he wanted. It was a fame that came with those miracles being worked. And that's why when the brother said, thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, that power is going to come because we're going through the same hatred that our Lord Yahawashi had on him from his own people. And guess what? Then when it was time to work those miracles, guess what? Yahawashi had to depart, man. He had to keep leaving. He had to keep move because we're going to be want to be led by the Spirit in that day. You see, we're going to be worried about salvation. We having that same lowliness on us, like, hey, man, I'm nobody. You know, just trying to make it. You know, just straight humble beast in that day, man. You know, but the Spirit is going to be on us, Lord's will. You know, so I just want to say that.
And say this too, man. You know, you people forget who this world belongs to. This earth belongs unto YAHAWASHI. Scriptures say the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof, man. You know, this belongs to the Most High, so it's a small thing for him to make you rich. But seek the kingdom of heaven, and then all these things shall be gathered unto you, man. So you gotta remember, you people lost sight of this. Is not Esau's kingdom. The so-called white man doesn't own this planet, man. The Most High does. The Most High just gave it over to his hands. So you gotta understand that all the riches of the earth, all right, this is the Lord. So he's the one that's in control. As you can see, systematically, when one kingdom goes down, another kingdom is set up. That's by design. All right? The Most High is always making something better than the other. All right? You think you the top, then what? Somebody gonna come over and overthrow you. You think you the top, then somebody gonna, you know, that's design, man. That's designed by the Most High. So remember, the earth is the Lord, and the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. So the Most High is going to give everything that this earth can create, which is everything you see. All right, because the earth rejuvenates itself, naturally rejuvenates itself, like the brother Michael. All right, that those nice supercars, those are just minerals of the earth. The only thing you're paying for is the craftsmanship. You know, they had to work and design it, but other than that, those are all elements that came. They got those elements straight out of the earth. The rubber, the metal, all right, the carbon fiber, all those are elements of the earth. The only thing is you paying for the craftsmanship. All right, you just the potter forming the clay. That's really all it is. But all it is gonna break down into the elements. So this belongs to the Lord, man, and it's his. Yeah. He gonna give it over to us, man. We just gotta wait patiently. All right.
God. Isaiah 13, verse 13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place.
So the scriptures say the earth shall reel to and fro as a drunkard, man. This earth gonna be moved out of its place, man. So in that time, you know, that's gonna cause the tectonic plates to shift hard. So you're gonna have tsunamis, same time fire. You're gonna have volcanoes erupting. You know, you're gonna have earthquakes. You know, because them missiles gonna shake this place up, man. You know.
Yeah. And then at the same time, you got civil wars, class wars, race wars, sex wars. You know, war. You know, war everywhere, man. Just all hell breaking loose. You know, birth pains, man. It's getting man. The Lord said that's a dark day for a lot of you people, man. And that's why we're singing unto you. We're telling you better it is to be in a house of mourning than a house of mirth. And you people just don't get it, you know. Nevertheless, they were still disobedient, man, you know. Isaiah 13, verse 13. Therefore, I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord, YAHAWASHI of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as a chaste robe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up.
As a chaste robe, and a sheep that no man taketh up. Go ahead.
They shall every man turn to his own people.
Because that's what happens during the time of you know, disasters or anarchy. Everybody turns to their own people. You know, it's like you see lions with lions, you see gazelles with gazelles. That's just the natural way, you know, that is supposed to be. And everybody gonna return to their own people when you get them. That's why you're gonna have race wars, class wars, all right? Because everybody gonna cleave onto their own. That's just survival. You know, when you go into prison, in order to survive, you got to get with your people. That's just how it works, man. So people be like, oh, it's not about race. It's not. It is. The Most High deals with nationality, man. All right. The Lord, if it wasn't all about nations or race, so to say, and the Lord wanna separate the nations, we would have all just been humanity. We would all would have just been
Makes
people.
sense, right?
You know. But that's just the way the Heavenly Father designed it.
And put us on top, man. You know, as the Israelites. You know?
Exactly. He said out of that grape, you know, he kept out of all the flowers, he have a favorite flower. You know, so what is the Most High's design, man? You know, the way he set things up.
Wow, and that's so beautiful. Just to add on to what you said was so beautiful, because how much more now that we're coming into the end of Esau's world, in the beginning of it that followeth is what? Jacob. So the Most High has designed men of a kind, the elect, Lord's will be a part of that number, the first fruits, Lord's will, all right, designed at its perfection, man, all right, to be the house of David, man, over the whole universe, man. So it's just a beautiful thing for the Most High, for us to be witnessing the Lord of hosts gathering men, all the armies. We're talking about the missiles right now. So the Lord is perfecting his armies, man. All right, the angels waiting. All right, the man of the Lord is getting girded, ready for gird up thyself as a man. All right, men of war, mighty men. It said it in Isaiah the 13th chapter. All right, that rejoice in His highness. All right. The scriptures tell you, hey, so the Lord is getting the armies ready, man. What are you doing? All right. You know, do you want to be a part of that? All right. Or do you want to get left behind, man? All right, and destroyed. All right. So that's what we're telling the people, man. You know, it says, and flee everyone into his own land. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. And everyone that is joined unto them.
So our people that want to, you know, worship the beast in his image, yo, that's you being joined unto him. You want to be a part of society? Everyone that's joined unto him shall be thrust through as well. Yeah. Okay? Go ahead.
Okay. Shall fall, slop. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
Now let me finish reading this last bit of this article here. It says the project remains highly classified, and even appearance of the glider was not shown to the public. The video of the test released by the Defense Ministry showed only the launch of the carrier vehicle, but not the deployment of the glider, its flight, or the moment it hit the target. According to the Moscow statement, the avant-garde can travel at the speed over 20 Mach, and its composite material hull withstands temperatures of up to 2,000 degrees Celsius. The weapon is believed to be impossible to counter by any ABM, all right, ballistic missile systems, for decades to come. So Russia is far ahead, man, with these missiles, except for decades to come. So Russia can stop making missiles 5 years, and America still wouldn't have the missile defense system to be able to intercept these missiles, these Avenger missile. Okay,
because a good offense is a good defense.
Okay. Isaiah 13 verse 16. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished.
So that's what's gonna happen, man. Children are gonna be dashed to pieces before your eyes. It's gonna be all-out war here in America. All right, and their wives ravished. So women gonna get raped. That's what happened during the time of calamity, man. Women get raped. Okay, go ahead.
God.
Yep.
Verse 17. Behold. Oh man, if I may add through the spirit real quick, because the reason why that's going to happen a lot as well, because your law, all right, your so-called laws has been given over to the military, man, and that's martial law. So your freedom is gone, your so-called freedom is gone, your Section 8 has no effect. So the whole time when you should have had a man in the house, all right, you wanted to have benefits or joint with him, so now you ain't got no heads, man, to protect you in that time, all right? Verse 17, behold, I will stir up the Medes against I will stir up the Medes against them.
And that's the Russians, all right? And as we can see, that's what's happening, man. The Russia with this, forget the exact term. I got to go back to the article. Hypersonic, yeah, just say hypersonic miracle, okay?
Which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it.
So hey, you're not going to be able to pay the Russians off, man. All right, the Lord's put it in their hearts, put in their spirit to shoot these missiles off. So that's the Lord's stirring up the spirit of the Medes against America. All right, in this last article here, and if you want to get Amos, feminine word, it's enforced speech. Okay, so I'm going to this real quick. You gotta focus on it. If you can't see it, I'll read it out to you. It's enforced speech. This is a very short article. It says, not long ago, the political left were the guardians of free speech along with tech tyrants. The left today was gone from protecting speech to enforcing speech. So they went from protecting speech, so protecting what you want to say, right? Freedom of speech. So they went from protecting that to enforcing speech, meaning what you can speak on, all right? So it says, even to the point of penalizing you if you say the wrong thing in public. You can lose your job and livelihood. Welcome to the era of simply shut up and nod. Okay? And that's the end of the article.
Damn, boy.
Enforced speech, so just shut up and nod. Pretty much a police state. The government says something, and you just go, yeah. That's it. And that's what we going down to. So the government's not speaking the words of the Most High. So, hey, eventually the family of the word is gonna come. All right, it's just, hey man, it's moving, man. You know, the missiles, RFID chip, okay, family of the word, persecution, all things are moving up according to plan, man, which is prophecy. Go ahead.
Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith YAHAWASHI, that I will send a famine in the land. Not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord.
But of hearing the words of the Lord, like Elder Apostle Hart said, this is the time of Matthew 25. The wise and the foolish virgins, man. All right? So a lot of you people going to have to go to the sellers that buy in that day, man. All right? Go to the sellers that buy, because the Lord said he's going to send a famine. Because why, man? The word is right here. You have grace. You have liberty to come receive this word, but they choose not to. So family word, hey, when they stop saying we can't speak on these certain things, a lot of people are going to be found naked out there. You know, a lot of people that were straddling the fence, being lukewarm, 1 foot in the world, 1 foot in the truth. All right? Just coming out, just being a cheerleader, just watching videos. Hey, man, you're going to be found naked that day if you wasn't serious about this thing. All right? And that's all I want to say. You know?
Yeah.
That's it. All right. But any brother got anything else? With that, man, we're going to give all praises
to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Chakadash.
That one of the apostles of great millstone that taught us this truth. And blessing all you sincere leaders out there pushing this truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty. Shalom.
Shalom.